What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GoodeBaker Podcast. I'm Nick Baker. Across from me, Shane Good.
Hey, guys.
And we're here to talk to you about some video games. First things first, I'm a little on the sick side. My voice is pretty shot, but I'm going to give it my best shot here. We're going to get right into what we've been playing. So, what have you got, man?
So, I've been playing, I've still been playing Dragon Cliff a lot. I played some Fortnite. I had a lot of things going on this week, so I haven't really played a ton of games. I did get a chance to watch a little bit of like the qualifying for NA West last night. So week 8 qualifiers. I mean, the only one that really, took the money points wise, Ghost Aiden and Ghost Sean got 114 points. And they got I think they got 70 or 72 kills in 10 games.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So esports is ramping up for Fortnite, huh?
Yeah, dude. Esports is right there for them, and also they are they're the only in NA West. They were the only people to qualify. So the number one spot is the only one to qualify.
Wow.
So for the West Coast, so that'll be pretty good. It's gonna be in a very interesting Fortnite World Finals.
So you're entering the East?
Huh?
Are you gonna enter the East?
Yeah. No, I'm already qualified.
All right, sweet.
Yeah. Right up there beside Tifu.
That's awesome. I'm really excited to see more from the esports crowd because I think that's a really cool development that's happened in the last 5 or so years is esports exploding. And Fortnite's just another one on top of Overwatch and Dota and all that.
Oh, yeah, they're kind of breaking out into their competitive scene. But so we're a little late on the podcast, so I've been kind of holding my questions for you about Persona 5, but what do you...
Yeah,
it's done now, right?
It's finally over. I finally finished it. It took me a really long time. I dropped it for a good 7 months, I'd say.
Yup.
Picked it back up. I was about halfway through the game. Now that I know the actual hours that I had into it, I ended with 125 hours into it.
Dang,
so,
that's a good story though.
Yeah, I mean, from start to finish, I enjoyed the story beats a lot, and the game itself, it ended in a really sweet way. Everybody. Spoilers a little bit here, but
yeah, Deborah, don't listen.
Yeah, Deborah, don't listen. The whole crew kind of it ends on a pretty good note. Your character is headed back home, and your friends are kind of driving you back, and you're along the coastline, and you're kind of reminiscing about things, and you. Yeah, so I'm really happy with the ending of it, and I'm really happy that I got through it.
Yup.
Got that off my back as far as backlog goes, but I've also been doing a little bit of Pokemon Go.
Oh yeah.
Getting back into that. That's really fun and getting me active in that way, and also I've been doing some Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
That's dope.
Finally got to, I think, a really riveting point in that game. So I think I'm going to sink my teeth back into that and really enjoy that because there's a bunch of DLC that just came out for that too. So
so you had you previously beat it all the way up to the DLC, or?
I haven't. I haven't gotten through the storyline yet. I dropped it. Actually for Persona 5. I got back into that and I was like, oh yeah, I'm really enjoying this. So and I had kind of enough of the open world genre after
doing Final Fantasy 15, right? Is that what it was?
I was playing 15. I was playing Days Gone.
I guess you got into that saturation of it.
So it started to feel a little samey to me, but now that I'm back into it, I love it. It's a lot like The Witcher, which is one of my favorite games of this generation. Witcher 3 was so good. And, and I hope that Assassin's Creed just continues in that direction, because getting more Assassin's Creed games like The Witcher would be really exciting to me.
Definitely.
But anyway, we got a lot on our plate today.
Yeah, we do.
Like you said, we're a little late. We're recording on a Monday. We usually record on Thursdays, and Thursday was a huge day. not the least of which was the Death Stranding trailer that came out.
Oh man,
what did you think of that? Because there's a lot to absorb, and I feel like it's not very very well absorbed when you look at it. So you kind of have to watch it a few times. But I think what are your feelings after seeing it once?
So there's a couple things that stuck out to me. Some funny, some just very confusing. I mean, first thing, gotta say it, gotta get off the table. These dudes wear a lot of fucking masks. Yeah. Everybody, like, that one dude where the scene where the guy takes the golden mask off, and it's like another mask, he's like, it's like that episode of Naruto where they're just trying to see under Kakashi's face and he takes his mask off.
It's just another mask.
It's another mask.
Almost exactly like that, because it's like a lower third mask that he has underneath. It's so funny.
I thought, that was funny. I liked the trailer. The gameplay looks really. It looks very interactive in the sense where it doesn't look like there's anything that you can't overcome terrain-wise, but it looks like you have to have the right tools to overcome everything. Like, there's that one scene where he takes out the ladder, and the ladder just, like, grows endlessly, which is really interesting.
That is really really strange, and it has that, like, radial menu.
Yeah.
And the object selection kind of has a lot of like a Metal Gear Solid 5 feel.
Oh, I felt it hard.
And it's almost, it feels like a Metroidvania-y kind of thing where you might need to get certain tools before you can get to certain parts of the world that you may have already seen before. Like, you walk past these places a few times and you're like, oh man, I wonder how I can get up there. And then you get this weird power pole extend ladder and you can finally get up there. But yeah, I wonder what the parameters of that are, like whether it senses, like, there's an action point and it senses where the end point of the ladder should be, or if you're pretty much just guesswork, like you extend it as far as you can and you see if it stretches, or maybe you can upgrade it that way. It's all up in the air for that part of things. Like, the gameplay itself, like you said, is it looks pretty expansive, the world.
Definitely.
I think it's only been in development for a couple years.
Yeah.
They seem to have come really far with it, and it's coming out in November 8th, so
yeah, that's pretty quick, soon.
That's a pretty quick turnaround for a relatively baby new studio.
Well, I mean, it is Kojima, but
yeah, I mean, he's a great
dude's a legend.
He's one of the greats, and he'll obviously go down in the annals of gaming history as one of the biggest influences, I think, on not only this genre, but I think gaming as a whole.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, there were a few other things in that trailer, like the stealthy sections where you're kind of sneaking through with that device on his shoulder that's connected to the bridge baby.
Yeah,
I don't know if you heard
really
that drop,
weird.
It's so strange, like the whole thing. It's intriguing though, it draws my attention.
It's definitely a new, like, I feel like lately we've just had the same games. Like, I mean, we have Battlefield, Call of Duty, Fortnite, Battle Royale.
Yeah.
This is like, hey, I'm going to put a baby in your backpack.
Yeah. It's such a departure from anything we've seen lately. It's really exciting to see Kojima back at it and give us that weird Metal Gear-y feeling again. I like that stuff, so
for sure
excited for that one. Any last thoughts on that before we move on?
Nah, I mean, that game just, I'm excited for the story. I don't play games for stories a lot. I play a lot of open worlds.
Right.
And I'm really excited for what that game has to offer. I mean, what are your finals?
I think that, like you, I'm excited for that interesting story. I want to see more of the actual gameplay, like maybe somebody actually playing it and seeing how that is controlled, like maybe even the controls, like how are those mapped? Like, is it more like Dark Souls shoulder button combos, or is it more face button stuff? Or I'm pretty excited to see the performances because Troy Baker is one of the characters on there, and he played Joel in The Last of Us, and he's played a bunch of great characters. Obviously,
he's a good voice actor too.
Nathan Drake's brother in Uncharted 4. Yeah, tons of other credits. I can't spit out here, but he's a great voice actor, and they've gotten Norman Reedus, who's a great actual actor, and, Mads Mikkelsen, who's a great actor as well, and a bunch of names that I'm not quite sure on, but I think that
there's definitely a lot of big names in it.
Kojima did his homework on a lot of these people, so I'm sure it'll be great. So, really shifting gears, because Death Stranding's one thing.
Oh,
babies and backpacks. Now we're going to talk about Pokemon and backpacks.
So, this is we go from babies and backpacks to babies with backpacks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because, that's what the game's for, babies with backpacks.
Right, 10-year-old, Like, I feel like there's a 10-year-old inside of all of us. So,
every one of us.
So the Pokemon press conference, the pre-E3, it's kind of a weird half-step conference because they were doing this, and then there's a Pokemon Direct that's coming out this week, I think on the 5th.
Yep.
And I think they're going to deep dive more into Pokemon Sword and Shield there, but the this one highlighted a few strange little games and a few features that are coming to the Pokemon world as a whole. So the first one I have down here was the sleeping app, the Pokemon Sleep.
Oh, this one's
the game
so
you
weird.
Can play while you sleep. They didn't share anything really, other than the fact that you'll be able to play a Pokemon game while you sleep. But
this is I don't know. This is like what I wanted when I was a kid. So maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what even the mechanics could be for this. Like,
I have an idea. Like, off the wall. Here's my prediction.
Because I'm clearly not creative enough right now to think of an idea for this. So what do you got?
All right. So what if this is just like a hatchery game? Like literally, what if this is like a Pokemon collection? Like you hatch eggs, and you can only hatch eggs when it knows you're sleeping by connecting to like your smartwatch or something like that, because they have those, the watches for Pokemon Go and stuff like that.
The short little trailer that they showed for it showed this the sleeping, I think just a sleeping child. I don't know. I can't quite remember whether or not it's male or female, but it was
made a very yikes face for the viewers.
Yeah.
Jeez,
excuse me.
Don't die over there.
But so there's this small device that's shaped like a Pokeball, of course.
Yo.
And it has a little light in the middle, and I wonder if that's actually going to be an actual device that they sell, and that's what Pokemon Sleep is, or whether or not it's going to be an actual app that you can have like Pokemon Go. They didn't share a lot of details, like I said, on it, so well, there'll be more to see from that, I'm sure. And
I can't wait.
That's that's not the most interesting part of this by far, man. You hold on to your seatbelt.
Is there connected to Tamagotchis as well? Or?
That was last week.
Right.
So the Pokemon Home system that they're coming out with, I don't know if you're familiar with any of the Pokemon storage systems that they have now. They have the Pokemon Bank that uses
a little
the
bit
3DS games. And it's an integrated system where you can put your Pokemon into like a cloud state. You pay like $5 a month for it or something like that, and you can trade them between games.
Oh, okay.
So what this is going to do is it's going to collaborate all of the different systems like Pokemon Bank and the Let's Go games and the new games, and they're all going to be on the same storage system, so you can trade Pokemon from all those games by just linking up to Pokemon Home.
Wait. Hang on. Hold your horses. So you're telling me, like, super rare Pokemon that you can find on Pokemon Go super easily, you're going to just be able to, like, hang on, and then just throw it onto your 3DS game? Is that the idea behind it?
What I've heard and what I've seen in this, that is exactly the idea. But I mean, within the games, there are obviously rules to.
Yeah.
Like, I assume that they're going to put into these new games, like, you can't trade with this until you find this certain spot, like, after badge 5 or 6,
Power spike. It stops you from just beating the game, essentially, instantly.
Right. And so that, I think, is really interesting. Our friend Paul, super excited for that. He's a big Pokemon fan. We'll have him on for more of the Pokemon coverage, because he's our expert there.
The Pokemon legend himself,
we are,
Paul.
Poke noobs compared to him. So, the next thing was they briefly announced at the very beginning of the conference that there's going to be a new Detective Pikachu game for the Switch. I think everybody saw this coming after the success of the movie.
Yeah, 100%.
And now I think everybody's wondering, is Ryan Reynolds going to do the voice for...
He better.
I mean...
That's all I have to say. Like, he has to.
Have you seen Detective Pikachu yet?
I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't even seen Endgame yet.
I won't... Yeah, jeez, we need to get on that.
Yeah. We were talking about making plans this weekend, or this week, so...
We definitely should, because... I still haven't seen it the second time, and I want to see it another time, just so I can stuff my face with popcorn again.
Pretty much.
But I think that it would be really wise, considering how Detective Pikachu, the movie, ended.
Yep.
It left it open for a kind of a sequel, but not one that you kind of would expect going into that movie.
Yep.
And trying to be as spoiler free as possible.
I appreciate that.
And so him voicing the character in the game could be really, really cool. And what else do we have here? We have... Oh, yeah, okay. So the Pokemon Masters, this is the new game, the new mobile game.
Yep.
Mobile game that's coming to iOS and Android, assumedly. It's a 3v3 combat scenario game that pits you with your favorite characters from the series, like Red from Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Yep.
Gary and all that. So you'll see characters from all the different
That's cool.
games and anime. In this game, it seems kind of interesting. I don't think it'll be as popular as Pokemon Go, because Pokemon Go is just a phenomenon.
Yeah, it just kind of blew up overnight.
But it's definitely an interesting little snippet, and I think obviously people love Pokemon.
Oh yeah, hands down.
I think we're gonna have another resurgence of the Pokemon mobile scene in this game, in maybe not a huge Pokemon Go like way, but definitely it's going to be a win for Nintendo.
Now, with that kind of game, was there anything more about it? Was there anything trailer wise? Was there any indication that you would be leveling your Pokemon, or is this just you fight with them that are already leveled?
I briefly skimmed over and I took notes, but I don't quite remember whether I saw levels or not. I assume if you're in combat, there's probably some sort of leveling experience system to keep you coming back. So yeah, I assume that you'll probably have a team that you can collect. Maybe it'll connect to Pokemon Home, and you could have your own Pokemon in there and fight alongside your favorite characters and whatnot.
I wonder if they'll take it, because 3v3, I wonder if they'll actually have PvP. It could be an option or an opportunity to have PvP.
I think that would be a brilliant idea, considering how much they flopped with the Pokemon Go PvP. I'm not quite sure. I like I said, I've been playing it. I haven't tried any of the PvP, if there is any on there. I'd have to investigate that further, but I've definitely been diving more into that, getting into the gyms. I have a gym right across the street from my house now, so it's pretty great. But yeah, I think that covered pretty much everything in that press conference.
The Pokemon land.
It's a Pokemon world out there. There's so much. If you love Pokemon, this is the year for you, because everything Pokemon's coming out this year.
Paul will be excited.
Next on our list here, we have something that's really exciting, and we actually just mentioned this. Well, not
little,
this.
little foreshadowing, you know.
Yeah, a little foreshadowing. Square Enix announced that they're bringing Marvel's Avengers to their press conference on Monday. Yeah, Monday.
Wait,
next Monday.
That fast?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Man, that turnaround was like, hey, watch this.
Yeah.
Boom.
It feels like forever ago that we saw that little teaser, and then it just went quiet, deadline, like,
yeah.
And yeah, I think this is really going to be a big deal because Square Enix hasn't really announced much else that they're bringing to their press conference, so that leads me to believe that this is going to be a banger.
And Square Enix took Sony's spot?
They did, yeah.
So they're in a well-known spot as well.
They
time slot wise.
They have not only this, they have Final Fantasy VII Remake that they said that they were going to show this month, which I assume is during their E3 press conference.
That makes sense.
I can't even fathom what this game is going to be like. There were rumors that it was going to be a Destiny-like, where it's going to be a perpetual online game, and
so like DC Universe, kind of.
Yeah, I can see that working a lot like that.
Okay.
Maybe a little less MMO-y, you know, how they have, like, the icon abilities and whatnot. Like Warcraft, I think it'll be less like that, more like maybe Warframe.
Okay, Warframe's really good game. I've got a couple 100 hours into that. So
yeah, I played a little bit of Warframe when I first got my PlayStation because it was free right out of the gate for PS4.
Yeah, super solid game.
So yeah, I'm super excited for that. Looking forward to seeing what they bring to the table because Sony killed it with Spider-Man, and I think Marvel games are just going to get better, just like the movies have.
For sure.
That property, I mean, that umbrella of Marvel has just grown bigger and bigger and bigger and more powerful, and they're not showing any signs of slowing down yet. So
no, I mean, especially as the world of graphics gets better, I feel like when you watch an action movie, you want those graphics, you want that. Like, yeah, the actors make a big difference, but at the same time, you know, those graphics really play into it, and especially with video games, those graphics, they really make the scenes. So with these action games, the graphics are gonna, as graphics get better, the games are gonna get better too.
Yeah. And the storytelling in these types of games has only grown too. Like, we've seen great story-driven games in the last few years. I think The Last of Us really set the bar for, like, the new age at the end of the PS3 life cycle, and then every game that's attempted, like, a really big story since then has, barring a few, like, missteps here or there,
of course, I mean, there's always a couple,
have really knocked it out of the park. But there wasn't much on that. There was just a title card for Marvel's Avengers, so not much more to say about that. But again, excited to see more. Now this one next is Battlefield got a new map on Thursday.
Yeah,
and
Thursday was a big day.
Yeah, Thursday was a huge day. I wish we were a little bit more organized. We'll maybe go into why it wasn't so organized at the end of the show, but Battlefield 5, like I said, is got a new map, Mercury. We watched some gameplay from Level Cap Gaming. Shout out.
Yeah, dude, guys got some aim on him.
Dude, he's nailing guys out there. It's crazy.
I hate to play against him.
So I took like a little bit of a note from one of the IGN articles. The map takes place on a Greek coast during the operation aptly named Mercury. Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful oceanside villa with gorgeous blue and white buildings scattered across a peaceful hillside. A few islands dot the exterior of the coastline, making it interesting, to say the least, for like sniper gameplay. And I think, like we saw, there was a lot of really long distance kind of in narrow aspects shots that he was making, and
definitely a lot of tunnel.
The scenery alongside like the explosions and everything, you know, the dice of Battlefield is gorgeous.
It always comes through.
The Frostbite engine is just such a great engine for a shooter, and
For sure.
it has its hiccups here and there. For I think Madden started using it this year. Madden had a few hiccups during the beginning. They fixed a lot of the stuff. And it ran better later on. But as shooters go, man,
it doesn't get any better. Their interactions for objects are so good, and it can handle it too.
It just makes me even more excited to see what they're going to do going back to like maybe a modern setting with Battlefield 6. This map makes me harken back to like the good Battlefield 1 days. So I think it really ties a nice bow on the World War I and II era of Battlefield games, and we're obviously going to get more maps, but this one really feels like old school Battlefield, and it's fun. It looks like a lot of fun. I haven't tried it myself, but I definitely will this week.
It reminded me a lot of Battlefield 3. There's a couple, like, I forget the name of the map, but it was a jungle map, and it was very long. It wasn't a super round map, and you went from point to point. I forget what the name of that game type is, but it reminds me a lot of that. A lot of just, there's a lot of things to hide behind, but there's also a lot of chances that your cover will just be absolutely obliterated.
Yeah, with the destruction that they include in these games, like nothing's safe.
Literally nothing is safe.
It's insane. But like I said, beautiful map. The color pop is
it's so
great.
good.
Like the blues and whites of the buildings, and in contrast with the like shiny deep blue of the ocean. It's awesome. I can't wait to actually see it on my TV in the living room. It's going to be amazing. But moving on quickly to the PS Plus games for this month.
Yup.
The PS Plus games for the month are Sonic Mania and, unfortunately, Borderlands Handsome Collection. And if you were listening a few weeks ago, I said that I bought the Borderlands Handsome Collection for us to try out when the Borderlands 3 announcement came out.
Yup, you did.
But not gonna be mad about it. I'm gonna be like, hey, I supported Gearbox with 15 of my hard-earned dollars. So, like I said, unfortunately, they came out with that. But at the same time, I didn't buy Sonic Mania, and I didn't get to play that at all. Now it's free.
It's true.
Gotta love that PS Plus subscription.
No, also, you can go online.
And Xbox, their games with gold this month.
They had a lot of games.
They have more games than PlayStation this month, and I think definitely more expensive games. NHL 2019 is one of those games. These two games I don't know. Rival or Ether and Portal Still Alive. I'm not sure.
Portal Still Alive, I'm pretty sure, is like a spin-off of Portal 2, where there's kind of like an in-between point where Valve stopped making games as much.
Right.
Because they slowed down to just kind of focus on making sure Steam was in a really good spot.
And churning that money machine.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And this game I do know because I watch a lot of Funhouse, and Funhouse plays these games all the time. Earth Defense Force, the game that came out in 2017. I'm not sure the number on it, but it's just basically this co-op shooter where the Earth is invaded by giant insects.
Dope.
And you have to, of course, defend Earth from these crazy giant insects, and it looks like a hell of a time. We might have to try it for sure.
Damn, that one sounds pretty fun, I won't lie.
But anyway, the next and I believe final thing we have on our list here for big topics of the week.
Yo.
Like I said, big week, but man, I love it. E3 is in the air.
It is.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare announced their reboot and announced that it's coming out in October on the 25th.
Yo.
And from all the news outlets that I've listened to and opinions that I've heard from people that have actually seen the gameplay, they say that it's really a callback to that darkness of Call of Duty, the slow-paced campaign, which they're going to have a campaign again, which is awesome. I've always really liked
I did like that.
The Call of Duty campaigns. And wow, the gameplay, I guess, is really visceral. Like I said, slow-paced. You're what the insider people saw in the demo room, what I guess was you infiltrating this terrorist sect in London. It's like this apartment, and they drop in, and they're breaching the front door, and they're going through and shooting all the terrorists that are in there one by one, like breaching each door, and they hear a crying baby from a far distance room, and they go to the room, and there's this woman holding this baby in front of her, and you have to choose whether or not to take her down and risk hurting the baby, or not acting and risk her reaching in and getting a gun, or possibly. So it seems like they're really getting down to you making the choices, or that the soldiers in the field have to make. Which I think is going to be a mixed bag. Some people are really going to love it, and I think some people are going to really, really hate on Call of Duty for this. So, what do you think?
It's that scenario and stuff like that. That whole thing sounds like something I would love, because there's a respect for those people that are in the line of duty that have to make those calls, and I think that sometimes it's really easy to take games and just desensitize the population for it, and I think this will bring a different light and a different kind of Call of Duty. Back when you had Spec Op missions, there was I forget the name of the mission, but there was a mission where you started in a tunnel and you had to breach into the room, and there was like 4 seconds of slow motion, and you just like looked around the corners and you were able to like shoot the different targets, and it was you and whoever else you were playing with, and you could just like pop around the corners, and like there was a slow motion, and it was just super cinematic and cool, and I think that like this is gonna bring that back. I'm really excited.
I liked the slower pace of the older Call of Duty campaigns, and the character-driven stories where you weren't kind of like popping from character to character. You had like a character that you followed through the whole story with. I believe Black Ops 1 and 2 had the same main protagonist that you followed throughout, and I think you might have swapped to one of the prisoners in one of the prison break scenes in one of them, but only very briefly, and I think those were some of my favorite campaigns.
Yeah, for sure. They were very good.
Really excited to see more from that. We'll obviously see more in E3 week from them. I'm not sure where, though, because they have a partnership with Sony, and Sony's not going to be there. So maybe Sony will have a state of play somewhere around there that they'll announce. But
Sony still has a conference for themselves, don't they? Aren't they hosting their own?
They haven't announced PlayStation Experience yet. They didn't have one last year, but they could have one later on this year to announce some stuff about PS5, which would be dope. But
that would be so quick too.
I don't think it would be before Call of Duty comes out on the 25th. So they must have an outlet somewhere to put Call of Duty.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think Activision would go many months without talking more about their game. Usually they drop like multiplayer details in like August, September, right before release usually, and possibly a beta too. So more to come from Call of Duty, I'm sure. But as for games that came out now last week, PSVR titles, Trover Saves the Universe and Blood and Truth were two of the highlights that I gathered. Trover Saves the Universe, obviously from the makers of Rick and Morty. Maker,
That's gonna be an interesting one there.
I watched a little bit of gameplay. It's just as funny as you think it is, and man, it's really making me consider buying a PSVR because
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
It looks super funny, and I guess it's a pretty meaty experience. So
that's cool. You don't see that a lot from VR right now.
Right, and Blood and Truth was supposed to be a really good spy thriller VR game, like really down to earth, almost like what was that? Super Hot. Like that
Super Hot's a really cool game.
That kind of shooting mechanic, but obviously with really sophisticated graphics, and I think that the PSVR titles that have been coming out lately have been just getting more and more and more polished, and we're seeing VR take the next step. I think they said that PSVR will extend into PS5 territory, but they haven't announced that they're going to do anything like a PSVR 2.
So it might be the same. It'd probably be the same connections.
Right.
So you'll be able to at least play for a little bit for the games until they released, something else. I mean, the way that most of the other VR setups have gone, Oculus and HTC's version, I forget what they actually called it.
The Vive.
That's what it is, Vive. Yeah. A lot of those have continued to use the same outputs, even through their multiple versions.
Right.
So I would imagine we'll see the same connections on PS5, which will be good.
Yeah, hopefully they a little bit down the line take PSVR and they do another iteration and do like a PSVR 2 and make it wireless, like really step into the future with it. But I think that's everything that we got this week.
Yeah, for sure.
Any closing thoughts you'd like to... Oh, yeah. Why don't you go ahead and tell them why we were a little late this week?
Well,
I'll tell them my story as well.
Yeah, my car broke down Thursday on my way to come here.
Yeah.
From school, so I had to call you up, and you had to come get me, and we had to get my car towed.
We got everything taken care of. You actually did. You took care of the whole thing. You fixed your car up. It's running like a top again, and that's cool.
What about you? What's your story?
So I had a wedding that I emceed this weekend, and
it's pretty cool.
Holy crap! It was a lot of fun, but it was pretty stressful on my voice. I was getting kind of sick on Thursday, and I had a little bit of a rasp then, but I was fine. But I went and had a bachelor party on Friday.
Yeah.
Went out until like 3:30 in the morning there. Drank a lot. Not regrettably, it was fun. But I was super tired the next day, and my voice was none the better.
All that sugar.
For the actual wedding, and there was a bunch of hectic scheduling complications with the itinerary for the actual wedding, and I won't get into details there because, it's long-winded, but...
Yo.
Long story short, my voice took a hit, and hopefully I'll be ready for our big E3 predictions episode this Thursday, which I'm pretty excited about. We should
super stoked about
gather our thoughts on some of the biggest things that we're hoping for Thursday now. It's
I was gonna say
3 days away, so.
Yo.
Anyway, I wanted to mention that we were getting our social media stuff up and running this week. We're gonna have an Instagram. We're gonna try and get a Facebook page up, just so we can get ourselves pushed out there a little bit more. We want to get, I think it's like 100 subs.
Yeah, it's 100 subs for a custom.
The custom URL approval for YouTube, so that we can have YouTube / GoodeBaker Games, which would be phenomenal. Cool. I think it'd be so much easier to get ourselves out there with something like that. But yeah. So like I said, Thursday will be our big E3 predictions episode. Make sure you tune in if you listen to us regularly. If you do, thank you so much for the support.
100%. Thank you.
We're only gonna get better, and we're only gonna keep growing. So
hopefully, keep our voices good.
Yeah, we'll be better by next time. So
100%.
Until next time, peace.
Peace.